Okay, so we're diving deep today into natural joint support and specifically something I know a lot of you out there have been asking about, Joint Restore Gummies.
Yeah, those seem to be pretty popular these days.
They are, and I've had a lot of questions about them, so we're going to look at all the research.
Okay.
We've got a ton of articles here. We're going to figure out, what the science says about the ingredients,
Right.
what are the potential benefits, and maybe even downsides we need to consider, and basically what you really need to know.
All right, sounds good. I'm ready to dive in.
Yeah, let's do it. So first up on the ingredient list is this Boswellia serrata extract.
Boswellia serrata extract, yeah.
It sounds kind of fancy.
It does sound a little exotic, right? It comes from these trees that are native to India and the Middle East.
Oh, wow.
And it's been used for a really long time in traditional medicine.
Oh, wow.
We're talking thousands of years, especially for dealing with inflammation.
Thousands of years. That's impressive for something to be around that long.
Yeah, that's a pretty good track record, right? Like before modern medicine, what do people really have to rely on? It was plants.
Yeah.
And Boswellia, it turns out it has these compounds in it called boswellic acids.
Okay.
And those are really potent anti-inflammatories.
Oh, wow.
You can think of it like, if your joints are like a rusty hinge,
Okay.
the inflammation is that rust that's kind of making it all stiff and painful.
Yeah.
And these boswellic acids kind of help to loosen those hinges up a bit.
Oh, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah, so
this isn't just like some, folk remedy passed down. There's actually research to back this up.
exactly.
No.
We're not just talking about, grandma's home remedies here.
Right.
There was a systematic review in 2019, which is basically a super in-depth look at a whole bunch of studies all together.
Right.
And they found that Boswellia serrata extract did, in fact, actually reduce pain in people that have osteoarthritis.
Okay, that's great to hear. All right, what about this next ingredient, glucosamine HCl?
Glucosamine HCl.
I feel like I've heard of this one before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you probably have. It's a pretty common supplement
Okay.
that people take for their joints. And the interesting thing about glucosamine is it's actually found naturally in our bodies.
Oh, wow.
It's like a crucial building block of cartilage, which is that kind of rubbery stuff that cushions our joints.
Right, yeah.
So that's why it's so important.
So if, like, my cartilage is wearing down, does taking more glucosamine, like, rebuild it? Or how does that work?
It's not quite a direct fix like that.
Okay.
Our bodies, they make glucosamine naturally, but as we get older or if our joints are under a lot of stress, we may not produce enough of it to keep up.
Oh, okay.
So that's where supplementing can kind of come in and be helpful because it provides those extra building blocks for repair and maintenance.
Oh, so it's more like providing the raw materials, not necessarily just like directly fixing it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like giving your body the tools to do the job.
I got it.
And the research on glucosamine shows that it can be pretty helpful. There was this big review done in 2015, and it concluded that glucosamine could reduce pain for people with osteoarthritis, and it might even help to slow down the progression of that condition.
Wow.
Especially in people that have like mild to moderate wear and tear.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's talk about the ingredient. I think that's maybe getting the most buzz these days, and that's CBD.
CBD.
It seems like CBD is in everything now.
It's everywhere, right? And there's a lot of excitement around it, but I think it's really important to break it down
Yeah.
and understand what it is and what it isn't.
Yeah.
So CBD is cannabidiol.
Okay.
That's the full name. It's a compound that's found in cannabis, but it's not the part that gets you high.
Okay, that's a common misconception, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the non-psychoactive part.
Right.
And it interacts with our bodies in this really fascinating way through what's called the endocannabinoid system.
Okay, the endocannabinoid system.
Yeah.
That sounds very complex.
It is a little bit complex, but think of it as like your body's internal system for regulating all sorts of things. Like your pain and inflammation levels, your mood, even your sleep.
Wow.
And CBD interacts with the system in a way that can help to kind of fine-tune how your body's responding to those pain signals.
So it's more about like regulating things, not necessarily like a direct pain reliever.
Right. It's working more at that kind of internal system level.
Okay, that's fascinating.
Right.
So what does the research say about CBD for joints specifically?
Well, it's still early days in terms of research.
Yeah.
But there have been some promising studies. For example, a review that was published in 2020 showed that there's some pretty good evidence that CBD can help manage pain.
That's good.
The challenge is we need more long-term research to really see how it works over time and what the potential downsides could be.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's promising, but we need more data.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, last but not least, we have turmeric root extract.
Turmeric.
Turmeric is having a moment, I feel like.
It really is. It's like the superstar ingredient these days.
Right.
Turmeric has been used for centuries and centuries in Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine.
Oh, wow.
But lately, it's become this, like, star in everything.
Yeah, it's in everything.
The thing about turmeric, though, is the active compound, the one that's responsible for those anti-inflammatory effects, is called curcumin.
Curcumin. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like adding turmeric to my food enough to help my joints.
Well, adding turmeric to your diet definitely can't hurt.
Okay.
But the amount of curcumin that you actually absorb from food alone might not be quite enough to give you, like, noticeable effects.
Okay.
So that's where supplements with a more concentrated turmeric extract can be helpful.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So has research shown that, like, turmeric extract does actually work for joint pain?
It has, yeah. In fact, studies have shown that curcumin can be as effective as some of the commonly used anti-inflammatory medications out there.
Wow.
Like a 2016 study found that it significantly reduced pain for people with osteoarthritis.
That's impressive. Okay, is there anything else I should know about taking turmeric?
Here's a fun fact. Okay. Black pepper extract, or piperine, helps to boost the absorption of curcumin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so look for supplements that combine the two, or like when you're making yourself a turmeric latte or something at home, add a pinch of black pepper.
Oh, that's a great tip.
Yeah, a little boost.
Okay, so we've covered a lot about all these different ingredients in Joint Restore Gummies, the science behind them.
Yes.
But I think it's important to point out, and, I've been hearing a lot of this may help or potential benefits.
Right.
What are some of the limitations that we need to be aware of here?
Yeah, it's super important to be realistic about this, right?
Yeah.
These gummies are not a miracle cure.
Of course not.
Everyone's body is different.
Right.
So how you respond to these ingredients is going to vary from person to person.
Yeah.
And I think the other important thing to remember is that these gummies should really be one part of a much bigger picture when it comes to your joint health.
Right. So it's not just like pop a gummy and everything is fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else are you doing for your joints? Are you maintaining a healthy weight? Are you exercising regularly? Are you managing your stress levels? All of those things play a huge role in joint health as well.
Okay. So if someone is considering trying these gummies, what's like the most important piece of advice that you would want them to remember?
Talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Seriously, consult with a healthcare professional before you start any new supplement regimen.
Right.
Especially if you have other health conditions or if you're taking any medications.
Right.
It's really important to be safe and make sure that everything is going to work well together.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Always better to be safe than sorry.
For sure.
Okay. So to sum it all up, Joint Restore Gummies, they contain ingredients that have shown some real promise for supporting joint health. But as we talked about, they're most effective when they're part of like a holistic approach.
Absolutely.
Not just a quick fix.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now, here's something I want you to kind of think about as you continue on your joint health journey. We've talked about lifestyle factors, but how do things like your diet, your exercise, even managing your stress levels, how do those all work together with these gummies?
It's a really great question.
It's a complex system, but really understanding those connections, I think, can be super powerful.
Absolutely.
So we encourage you to keep learning, keep researching, find what works best for your body and your lifestyle.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
We wish you the best on your journey towards better joint health.
To better joint health.
All right, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.